The RX-78BD-2 Blue Destiny Unit 2 was the second mobile suit that Professor Schultz Morsis developed after he fled from the Principality of Zeon to the Earth Federation forces. Similar to the Unit 1, it is mounted with the Exam system, but its specifications were changed from the start to use the RX-79G Gundam ground type's head as the unit's base. The Unit 2, which was used for testing at the Exam Research Facility, was planned to be reassigned to the 11th Independent Mechanized Composite Corps, also known as the Marmot Team, and was taken by the Principality of Zeon. Later became Lieutenant Nimitz Schertzen's machine, and its shoulders were painted red. Well, they weren't. They're orange. It's your boy Zappa, and welcome to Plebpla. No skits or gimmicks today because I can't think of any, and I want to try something different. This is my collection. I will swing around so you can see the other side. Over here are my Gundams, or my DVDs rather. Be that as it may, from that blurb above, we are talking about today the second release of the Blue Destiny Unit 2 Exam, which is a very nifty way of discerning it one from the other with the old trio and the new trio. Because the old trio, while it's still, at least the Blue Destiny Unit 1 came with parts to use Exam or not in like colors and cameras, the second one has a little bit more to it, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. And here we are, in the ever-awkward top-down mode, where we have a guest star of the original Blue Destiny Unit 1. I didn't get the Exam version because I already had the first, and it's not enough of a difference for me to buy a second of the same kit that I'm not going to try to kit bash. But you're here for comparison. The clear difference in detail is just, well, I suppose the difference in detail is more akin to, say, what's the word I'm looking for? Not manufacturing, but the tooling, the articulation, the way it's made. Construction? Is that the word I'm looking for? It's better. When it comes to the shield connectors, on the new set, you have simple slots. Whereas in these, you have these large, gaping voids with the shield connector that needs to fit in there a certain way, or it just doesn't go right. See, you can't have a left-handed pilot. You have to have a right-handed pilot. I will say, though, I really do like this shade of blue in comparison to this. It's very nice. It's very striking. If I could have this color blue here, that'd be great. But I'm not a painter. So you'll go over there for now. We have our boy. I'm going to have to lay it down, I guess. The Blue Destiny Unit 2 comes with a second visor in green for those of you that prefer Exam, or not Exam to Exam. A full build of shoulders so that you can have either the Federation or the Zeon shoulders. However, what it doesn't come with, and to tangent from its accessories, is enough polycaps. I really like it when kits come with non-standard gray polycaps. Gray or black really kind of pawn off the same for me, but stuff that comes in like blue, white, red. I feel like I've seen yellow once, but I could be making that up. But non-standard polycap colors are great. I love them. However, because I'm a hoarder, I've kept all my extra polycaps from other kits, and so the PC 002, please focus. You will not focus, will you? Can we do it? Are we going to do it? The PC 002, I guess we're not doing it. No, barely. Point is that this is the same polycap runner that comes with a lot of IBO kits. So I was lucky enough to have extra parts in order to make everything as simple as popping a shoulder off and getting it back on there. It's great. We're going to leave that for now. The kit comes with a exchangeable backpack. I would fathom that this is a space type backpack, so it's a lot of verniers. We're going to talk about this backpack later. And instead it has replacements for ground, for regular, here under above my thumb, and exam activated backpack. Very nice. It comes with one for each side. It also comes with 2 different guns. I believe this is the submachine gun. Looking at our weapons list over here, we have beam rifle. Yep, here's your machine gun, and here's your beam rifle. I'm personally a bigger fan of machine guns than other things. You get 2 beam sabers, standard long saber. Let's compare this to the older one. It is the same color but much shorter. I find a lot of kits are coming with these much longer beam sabers nowadays. The largest ones probably being behind the scenes a little bit. Small tangent, if I can get the camera to cooperate. See that big yellow beam saber? Not the pink one. The yellow one is the ones that come very similar to the Double Zeta. I apologize for that tangent. Back on point. I'm a fan of these larger beam sabers as opposed to the more average ones, but the smaller ones leave more room in my box of toys. And of course, the shield. Blah. Many tangents. I apologize. This is not scripted. The kit comes with many runners, a lot with extra parts left over from the first exam, and probably some ground type Gundam, ground type GM. Comes with your clear decals and your regular color applications. The clear decals are very rare in that they contain both the Federation and the Zeonic stickers on there. Unfortunately, you only get 2 Zeon emblems, and the manual suggests that you put 1 on the shield. I chose to put 1 on each side of the shoulder, that way I'm not claiming for which shoulder is correct. And the same can be said for the Federation shoulders. Okay, with that little mess cleaned up, let's talk about some stickers. You get a few rather obvious color apps. You have a piece on the shield here, on the knees, on both sides of the feet here at the ankles. These could have been white parts, but I think that's more detailing that goes into a real or a master grade. These right here, surprisingly, are colored. That's a single color right there. You get 1 sticker on the butt. And of course you have your head camera, 1 in the front, 1 in the back. You get a camera for, oh come on, play nice now, the beam rifle here. And then the worst perpetrator of all is here on this backpack. Why don't you focus? How do I make this focus good? Oh look, it did it after I complained. These here are all decal. I don't mind the decal here in the middle. That's fine. I can live with that. These, not so much. They are a pain to apply, and no matter how much painstaking effort you put in, there's just little to no way to make them look good. Like, even then I was messing with that. Also, do be careful because these simply pop in and out. I don't know what good that does. Space backpack. Go over there. Now, a test. You cannot fit the exam activation with the space backpack. You get A or B. And because it saves more hassle and more room in my box of accessories, the space backpack goes on. Very good. On to articulation. I'm going to start at the feet. Get a good toe bend there. It's built very differently from most high grades. You get a lot of range in that ankle armor. You even get some toe bend in there. You have panels in the leg. This entire bit comes off. That's where you store your beam sabers. One of them is already out and activated. Slide that back in there today. This part here, I'm going to pop this back out. Excuse me. This part here is also one of the signs of exam activation. You can slot it in high or low. I can't tell which way that is. I think that's high. And there you go. You'll see the difference right there. Over here you've got what are basically extra ammo clips for your machine gun. Not that you'd ever peel those off for display purposes. Each skirt is very articulated, which I appreciate. These come separately as opposed to being together. Your knee bend, full knee bend. It's very good. I appreciate it. And simply to compare, despite the age in this kit, even the original Exam, or the original Blue Destiny, has a good knee bend in there. Good elbows too. But does the new articulated Unit 2 oh yeah. Now, something I noticed very interestingly in the construction of this here is rather than having a wrist piece, it is very open. There's no gauntlet. It just pops right in there. Unlike what you see here, there you go. This feels more closed off, and it's not in the instructions. It's not even in the parts list for the Unit 2 Exam. It just feels weird. Like they forgot to manufacture a part, and then they just let it ride. So, showing off the arm, you even get full motion here. You get twist at the bicep. Very flawless, unobstructed. Here at the shoulder, it is the, old, ball and socket, but it rises at the armpit, so survey says you get it up that high. And there you go. I feel like there were other talking points. Oh, there is another talking point that I have. Up here, you see it, our friend the V-fin. It is attached to a headpiece. This headpiece slides out. And from there, should you choose to accept your fate, you can actually go through and, well, I feel like this is easier said than done, because I could have sworn that it was almost designed in such a way, and I swear I'm going to lose this. Ah, yes, there it goes. That it was designed so that it is much easier to get your eyes out of the kit and replace them with the green ones. The only problem that you have moving forward is that you're stuck with either your exam or your non-exam cameras. It's nifty enough, and I keep the extra piece because I'm a strange and bizarre little hoarder, and just in case something goes totally wrong and I lose these eyes, which I feel like I'm going to do here in a couple minutes if I don't get these back in properly. Yeah. And I didn't ruin the... Oh, did I? I might have messed up the sticker there a bit. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. It is a replaceable non-P Bandai buildable action figure that goes for about 1,600 yen. So, everything covered, I believe, and no stories to tell. That concludes my review of the high grade Blue Destiny Unit 2 Exam Type. How do y'all feel about this change in location? I'm sure moving forward I'll have skits for other kits that I do, which I would like to think that is my thing. But do you like this table better, or perhaps do you like the larger table out in the den? Let me know in the comments below. I'm seeing a lot of dust on this thing that I'm going to have to wipe off later. But as always, SIEG, Zeon.